Hey everybody, I'm going to be doing a color video today, and I'm going to be covering up my client's gray and also doing some high lift highlights on her. She likes to be really light but not too blonde, so I'm mixing up some high lift from Evo 12 and 40 volume, and I'm going to be starting in the back. I'm doing just a partial on her today, but I'm doing she likes to have it as close to her natural hair as possible, or to her roots. So I am going in and doing the high lift highlights, just a traditional partial kind of placement, doing a mohawk, and then on the sides will be diagonal placement. But I'm just going in and putting the high lift on the new growth. And I love doing high lift color or high lift highlights, just because I have some clients that they just want to be lighter, but they don't want to be blonde necessarily, and they just want something that looks really natural. And my client here, she has a lot of gray, and she hates it. So she just wants something very dimensional and not so flat looking. So I've been doing this on her for many years now, doing the high lift highlights and going in and doing a base cover up for her as well. We used to just do high lift highlights, but now we do the base as well because she has a lot of gray coming in, and she's not ready for it all. And yeah, so this is definitely one of my favorite methods for blending gray and giving the hair lots of dimension. So you'll see later in the video, but my client did not want her face shown in the video, so I respect her privacy, and I'm going to have like a little blurb of pixelation over her face. You'll see it later on, so I apologize ahead of time if it looks a little robotnik, but I'm just respecting her privacy, and she just wanted her face covered up while I do her hair. But she let me film her hair, and I felt like this would be a really good video to show how I like to use high lift for highlights. Not a lot of stylists use high lift for highlights, or use high lift at all, and I use it quite a bit. I have a few clients that I use it as their root instead of bleaching their hair if they want to be really blonde, but it does give somewhat of a warmer tone, so it's probably best if you want to be like a more goldeny blonde than like a cooler blonde. But I love it for highlights. It's so great and looks so natural, and if your client doesn't want to use bleach, it's a great option. I love these cute foils from Framar. This is their summer strawberry gingham collection. But yeah, so I'm just going in and doing some really fine weaves. She has a really thick, coarse hair, so I want it to look as blended as possible, getting all that new growth in there. And I do make sure, as I'm getting towards her face, I make sure the sections get finer and finer. And now I'm going in on the sides and taking some fine weaves. I'm starting out diagonally and weaving my way through, and then I actually once I get past the ear, I start pivoting towards a more horizontal placement. So it's diagonal in the hair that's around the ear, and then I pivot as I'm going up. So you'll see that I do end up with more of a horizontal placement. I find that when you do horizontal placement, it tends to make the hair look lighter. I don't know why it is. Maybe it's an optical illusion, but I feel like when you have those clients that want a lot of lightness, the horizontal placement going up the head, it just makes the hair look more lighter. And for those who don't want too much brightness, I would go more diagonal. Making sure I'm saturating all of that new growth, and just doing the same on the other side. Sometimes doing these kind of color surfaces can be a little messy and crazy because you're doing a bunch of highlights and then you're going back in and doing a base over it. I tend to get a little anxious when I'm doing stuff like this just because it feels like it takes forever to do. But you just gotta go slow. And so yeah, so I'm getting her base ready, and I wanted a level 7, but I didn't have a level 7, so I mixed 5 and 8. Well, I wanted like a 6, 7. So I mixed 5 and 8, which is all I had, with 30 volume. And this is, since she has so much gray and it's so coarse and kind of hard to cover, Evo has this like extra pigmented colors called it's like natural levels plus, and it just has extra pigment in it to cover up grays and white hair, but you have to mix it with 30 volume, and the 30 volume really pushes the color into the hair. So I really like that a lot, especially for like really gray white clients that want all of that gray covered up. So I'm just going in between each foil and taking my time, because this can be a little tedious and a little messy. So I'm just going in and covering it all as best as I can, checking all the nooks and crannies and making sure all that color just gets blended in. I always do start the put on the base starting in the front first, and then I work my way back. Now that it's all covered, I let her sit for about 35 minutes. I'm also doing a little treatment on her ends because her hair gets so insanely dry every time I see her. And she won't let me do a haircut on her. She never asked for one. And I'm just like, okay, so I do a deep treatment on her while the rest of her color is processing. And this is from Organic Color Systems, and it's their protein treatment. And I'm doing like a cocoon method that I learned from them, and it's their protein spray called Revamp. And I wet the hair down a little bit, spray the Revamp, and then I take the cream conditioner and treatment and put it on top, and then leave that on as her hair is processing. So she gets a little conditioning treatment and her color all done at the same time. So 35 minutes later, her hair is done. Washed it really well. I think I'm going to be using all Innersense on her. I believe I always do a blowout on her, so it's the Sweet Spirit leave-in conditioner and the Serenity smoothing cream and a little bit of the Eye Create Shine. I tried to blur out her face as best as I could, but you know, I'm still learning. I'm still learning how to edit videos and do all this stuff. It's a lot of work. It was a really, really hot day. That's why I'm wearing this like crazy summer dress. It's been so hot in LA. It's been in the hundreds. And that dress is really cute. It's the first time I'm seeing it on camera. It looks really, really cute. So I'm doing just typical blowout for her. I love my blow dryer. I just have to give a shout out. It's by this company. It's a Canadian company called Gamma Pro. And this dryer, I mean, I've been using a Dyson for years and I love my Dyson, but this was recommended by another hairstylist and I bought it on a whim because I needed a second dryer, and I just really love it. It's so easy to handle, it's lightweight, it's very powerful, especially for thick, coarse hair like my clients. For doing blowouts, it's pretty amazing. Always get like such smooth, amazing blowouts with it. I also love the Olivia Garden ceramic round brushes. Those are my favorite. But yeah, her hair color came out really nice and blended and dimensional. But yeah, like I've said before, I love the Highlift for highlights. It just creates such a beautiful, soft highlight, and you don't have to tone it. I never tone her hair. She's okay with it being more on the warmer side. If you have a client who wants to be on the cooler side, you probably would want to tone it. But I usually with Highlift, I never tone it because it gives more of a goldeny honey tone to the highlights. But yeah, here's the finished result. Just nice and blended, covered up gray. It'll just look so natural as it grows out too. Love, love, love this technique and formula. Thank you so much for watching. Be sure to subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.